Okay, legends. I'm going to start off with the dollar index, and we'll take it from there. So this line here was that low. We've taken that out, but then we started to move back above. I mean, I did say in the weekend market review, it's the last week of the month, and we could have, some sort of pullback. So that would look like the wick at the end of a candle, right? Often, you really find a candle that's like flat when it closes. You have to find a wick. So whether that's profit taking or whatever it is, most candles, you follow the same pattern, you find a wick, and it makes sense for it to come back as well. It's been one way, no real stops have been tested. So what I'm thinking, and by looking at the other pairs, we could be in for a dollar pullback, and it makes more sense for that to come back. So we've come down below this low, and we've attempted to go down again, and then it's rebounded back up. Okay, now we've got this support and resistance here, we've got stops there. So I think we're going to push up into there. Now I'll talk over the majors and why it makes more sense for the dollar to go up now, at least retrace, than go here. So if I was to, like, in probability wise, I would say it's more likely to go reach this level here than this level here first. Okay, so whatever, then I'll watch and see what price does down here, but I think it's going to push up. We've got FOMC tomorrow as well, so we'll have to see what happens. Okay, so that's the dollar index. I want to quickly go over a chart on the euro, right? And this is something I posted on Twitter, so let me just get this up. So I'm looking at this. Hang on, let me just go over euro first, and then I'll go over in detail this chart. So euro, obviously we've come up, and let me just clear this up. Oops, 1 second, sorry about that. Flipping frozen now. Okay. Okay. So the high, we haven't really taken the stops out yet. Now, if we had taken the stops out, then I'd be thinking, I don't know. But I think it's a trap. I've seen it happen too many times to avoid it. So on this platform, right, is 1.1715. It's different according to each broker, but all my brokers, they haven't taken this high out yet, and I think there's big stops resting there. And to be honest with you, if they're gonna take out the stops yet, it's not gonna be a couple of pips rate. It's gonna be a quite decent amount. I'm thinking at least 30-40 pips. It's a weekly chart. Remember, it's not intraday charts. 10-20 pip stop rates. Even 2-3 pip stop rates. Weekly charts, we're not talking about 1 pip stop rate. We're going to be talking decent amount, and I think it's come to resistance. And normally you see traders, what do they do? Oh, it's got into resistance, good sell here. It's been going up. That's fine, and I like that because it shifts in my favor as to what I think the market is going to do. And the way I trade, like I said before, I keep repeating myself, is I try to build a story in my head, right? What is going on? I try to put myself in the position of the retail and the market makers, right? If I was a market maker, how would I manipulate this market to get the retail in, to trick them, in better words, trick them, convince them that I'm going to send the market one way, but in reality I'm going to send it the other way. And whether it's true or not, how this market works, it doesn't matter. If this storyline I've built in my head is working, over the past, then I'm going to stick with it. I don't care if it's right or wrong, as long as it's making money, that's all that matters. So yeah, so it hasn't touched that level yet, and I think this is a trap. So I think they're trying to make the market look like it's going to reverse or posting a bearish candle, but in reality I do think they're going to push it lower, because those that are long, this easy stops resting here, and I spoke about this level as well. And if you flip the chart around, it looks like the dollar index chart. So for the euro to come here, fill this void in, and then we'll see we've got stops resting again. It doesn't necessarily have to fill this void in. I've seen it where it doesn't fill the whole void, but we'll see. I've got my setup outlined for it to come into here, take out these stops. If I get strength off this, if I get bullish PA, then I'll look to get long. At the same time, I'll look to see where other major support level. So as it stands, I think it's gonna go here. Now I wanna go into compare this pattern I've seen before. So if you look, it's a rough drawing, right? But see this grey box here? Compare them now. Compare grey box here to grey box here. Then you've got this purple box here with this spike up and immediate rejection back down. Take out the stops. Spike up, immediate rejection back down. Take out the stops, and then this pattern shows that it drifts lower, takes at this double bottom here, clean stops. I'm seeing clean stops here, these lows here, into a support level or an order block here, come down into a support level. Reason to go down, void fill, previous resistance becomes support, stops here. If it gives me this sort of pattern here, bullish confirmation, then I'll go long. So in this box, if I get that, then I'll go long. I think the same pattern is going to unfold because my big tip time stocks haven't been taken yet, like I explained. So that's the euro dollar. I'm going to switch platforms now because I prefer using this one. So that's euro dollar explained. So I think what I don't want to see, so we've got this H1 block here, obviously. Markets, you know, it's broken down. This candle here led to the move up, so there's going to be where there was buying in here, they're going to be using that for selling. I think they're using it. I don't want to see it go above here now. Lower time frame, we've got this 15-minute block here, right? We moved up into it. On the 5-minute, we had these little highs here, took them out, dropped, okay, and then this is the 15-minute, this is the block here marked out, right into it, and I think it's probably going to drift low from here. I wouldn't want to see it come here. It can, but you know, I think it should start drifting lower in Asia. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm not interested in taking the shorts anyway. And like I said, this is the level here I want to see it come into on the daily. Yeah, so that's my idea. I do think it's gonna take out the 1.17 12 level, I think, on this broker. The high is on the weekly. Yeah, 1.17129, and I think it's probably gonna go higher into the 1.1750. Yeah, I think it's going to the 1.1750 once we bottomed out, and then higher. I do have bigger targets that I've mentioned. If you go to my trading view, I've got euro dollar charts and I've posted them previously, so I won't go over it now. That's that. Now cable. Now cable is one tricky motherfucker. Ideally, initially I was looking for heavy bullish scenarios. It's not giving me them. During the day, I posted this chart here where I compared it to the Kiwi, took out these stops into the block and then rallied up. We've got that. I didn't take this. I was in oil, and I'll explain oil later on. But it rallied up, and it's struggling to go up. This is struggling to go up. So with expectation of a bullish dollar, I think this is gonna roll over. To be honest with you, that's what I think. Target wise, I mean, the fact that it's struggling to go up, I mean, I think it's probably gonna come down, take out these lows here. Okay, I'm still overall I am bullish this, but the way it's looking to me, I'm not fancying the bullishness just yet. It is struggling to go up. If we look at this, so this was the down move that led to the move up to take out the stop. So if we mark this out here, right, so this stops in here. So if I draw this out, right, high to low, the 50% of that comes into here. Right, that capped it. That capped the price action, and I believe that it's go. I don't think this is gonna hold. Yes, this took out the stops here, but the way dollar's looking, I wouldn't be confident going long here personally. If they use this candle here to take out the stops, these stops here, right, then they're going to be using this to start selling. So this could be like a sell model, and if we look carefully, right, we still got this daily block here that hasn't been touched. So what could happen is a move down into here, possibly. I mean, from here to there, it's about 100 ticks. I don't know, we'll have to see. They could still hold this, you know, cable. I'm not confident on this, but I want a long it, but it's not giving me long setup, so I'll stay on the side until it gives me a long setup or a clear short. Okay, it's just not clear to me, so that's all I can say for now on this. But if the dollar's gonna go up, then most likely cable's probably gonna come down. The stops are obviously gonna be resting below this low. I mean, clear stops we've got here, right? Now clean double bottom here. So if it's struggling to go up, then I'm gonna have to look for bearish scenarios here. We've got this block here. What the hell? So this was the weekly open. We found support there, but like I said, with a bullish dollar scenario, this is gonna want to come down. Once it bottoms out and the dollar looks like it's gonna go back down again, then I'll look for longs again. So that's not a problem. So as it stands now, I mean, it's struggling to go up right now. I think tomorrow may change things with the FOMC, but we'll have to see. But yeah, that's my cable scenario. I think it's gonna want to come down, take out this low here. I'm not willing to take a trade tomorrow. I'll watch tomorrow unless it's something really intraday scalp or whatever. I hate trading days like FOMCs, but we'll have to see. I'll let Asia unfold, possibly a short-term intraday setup. Then I'm willing to take that. So that's cable. Okay, look at the daily. I mean, you can see we're struggling to go up. Maybe pushed up, down again, pushed up previous day's high, and back down again. I mean, I think buyers are stepping, but then they're selling. These wicks are telling me they're selling the market again, selling the market again. How far does it want to come down? Fuck knows. So we'll have to wait, you know, and let that unfold. If I want to take a punt, right, I'd say a break of this low here, and then a retest, right, and a possible sell model. That's, you know, that's a possible scenario if the dollar is gonna go up. So, and then if it comes into this, so that is resting above that, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, that's all I'm willing to do on this pair for now. When it tips its hand, it's clear to go one way, then it'll be clear. Kiwi dollar, I think this is gonna retrace. A similar theme to the dollar's bullishness. I think it's gonna want to come into here. Yep. We've got stops resting here, and I do think overall, bigger picture, I do think, you know, it's gonna go a lot higher. But at the same time, you know, bigger picture, you know, I think we are due for retracements. You know, a retracement would be nice to get back on long, so it would fill in this gap here, void, and then so if we can get something like this and move up like that. So if we got Kiwi here, and then Euro at the support level I mentioned, and then, you know, cable at that support level I mentioned, and I'm going to do Aussie now. If Aussie's at the support level, and then they're all showing bullish price action ahead of FOMC, then, you know, you sort of got an idea of what's going on, where the low is. Define your risk. You know, once it rallies, you know, you can easily get back on board. And it's early in the week, you know, it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, we're only halfway through, so we're not even halfway through yet, but by the time FOMC is over, we'll be halfway through, and then we can still, you know, look for the rest of the scenario. Aussie dollar, so what I'm looking for in Aussie dollar, we've got some clean highs here. I'd like them to hold these clean highs. I don't want them to take it ahead of FOMC. And I mentioned this level, this weekly block in the weekend review, so let's look at that marked out. So I'd like market to come into here, right, stops resting here, and like I said, if this is here ahead of FOMC and Kiwi is at the level I marked out, and like Euro, then it's a good chance the low is high is in on the dollar and the low is in the space. I do believe Aussie's got massive upside to go. I talked about that in previous videos, and on Twitter I've posted the charts. I think, you know, I think we're gonna take out these highs here, and I think I got 82s marked out, these highs here on my macro charts, but I'll have to look at them again. So for a short-term idea, I think this is a decent idea. So take out these stops. So those that are long this market, right? I think you know, people could say, well, you know, it's calmed down, taking out these stops, and then showing bullish price action. I think, you know, it's gonna want to make one more run down. And remember this, I always say this, before a big reversal, right? You know, big decent stops are taken before, because if everybody's long this and they're having an easy ride, that really happens. You know, easy rides for people. They want. It makes more sense for them to take the market down, fill a lot of this gap in, you know, void in, and then rip. So that's the scenario. That's the only way I'll be willing to take this. If it doesn't give me what I want, then, and it keeps on ripping, then I'll have to see what happens next. Dollar yen. Yeah, okay, I think dollar looks like it's gonna push up. It didn't give a scenario I wanted it for short, but, you know, last week of the month you gotta be cautious. I think it's gonna want to take these highs out. I don't know where this is gonna top out. At the moment I don't have a clear read on dollar yen. I'll have to see where it's at ahead of a form C, or where the other pairs are. If the other majors are finding support, you know, like the Aussie, Euro, and that, I'll have to see where dollar yen is at then. At the moment, you know, it's showing strong bullishness. You know, I was looking at this for a long earlier, but I was in oil, and so I just watched this. You know, so you know, basically resistance. It's come down. It's formed this block here. It's held this block. As soon as this candle closes, now if you go into a lower time frame, we've got this is a typical pattern of play where you've got stop rate into a key level. So it's come down, right, into resistance becomes support. It came down into this block here. Alright, rallied away. We took out the stops in lower time frame here, rallied away. So if I draw that out, came down, took out, rallied away, booked that high, and did back down, buy the fuck out of it. So probably buying the close of this candle. You can place a stop here. Why? Because it's come down, taking those stops, so there's no reason to take it back here again. And long. Okay, but I would have taken this if I was in oil. I was too busy compounding in oil to give a shit about this one. That's most of the majors done. Dollar Swiss, I mean, if you can come up into here ahead of FOMC, and if Euro's at the support, then it's a good chance this could be the resistance before the next leg lower. Okay, so like I said, when I get all the majors lining up at the same time, then you know, I take it from there. I start looking for more bullish price action in the lower time frames, and then I'll take it from there. So that's that done. I'm just gonna go over this briefly. Gold as well. Yep, it's coming down. It's a bit of a tricky fucker. I mean, just because it's retracing, I don't see it. It doesn't mean the trend has changed. They're just retracements, in my opinion. There's certain levels which, if they break, then obviously you know, I'll be reconsidering my position. But as it stands, I'm still bearish dollar. You know, there's no reason just because you got 1 day of up move, it does not mean reversals in place. With all the other majors pointing higher, why? I'm gonna put up a trading view chart. Give me a second. So yeah, for example, cable, right? I mean, this cable, yep. If you look at a quarterly chart, right, on the cable, this, you know, this is down candle, right, and then up. So this is a block now. Look at the quarterly candle. It's coming here, found support, and it looks like it wants to push up. So on a macro basis, right, this chart, you know, takes, you know, care of all the lower time frame charts. You know, as long as I'm following this, then I know where the macro picture is, right? So the flow is on the higher time frame, flow is on the upside. So I'll be looking for bullish. I know, yes, you did get pullbacks and intraday shorts, but the path of least, okay, I'm doing a lisp here. The path of least resistance is to the upside. Okay, similar. I mean, if I switch to the euro chart right now, euro USD, the path of least resistance. I mean, look at this. Would you really want to be selling this? No, be a fool to. I think we're going to 1.2. You know, 1.165. This is a chart I mentioned ages ago. Look at that. If I go to the 6 month, come on. You know, I think we're gonna go up into there, 127.50, but that's longer term. But you know, 1.2 is, you know, it's not too far off. So as it stands, I mean, do you want to be getting in the fucking way of this? I wouldn't. So that's just, I just use these charts as a big macro basis, you know. So that's just want to keep brief overview. I am going to do a detailed video on this, on how I use them in detail, breaking down from the yearly to the 6 month, all the way down to the 5-15 minute. I will do that, but I'll do that when I'm ready to do that. Okay, now I'm going to quickly break down oil, because I got asked the question, how did you compound? Okay, so initially I did a video on the weekend, early in the week, when oil was down here, right? On the weekend I posted a chart when it was like this, right? You can see on my Twitter I posted a chart. I have explained my reasons behind it. You know, I'm not going to go over that again. If you want to see that, then just watch that video, oil breakdown. And then I needed to wait. I need price to show me why it wants to go up. So yesterday I took my long on oil initially. So yesterday, so what happened was price came down into the high time block, took out the stops, rallied away. when it rallied away, that's it. I said, okay, now I'm bullish. I know what my risk is because it's taken on these stops. I don't want to see it go back below here. Looking at the weekly, sorry, I'm going to go over the weekly. This here, big bearish candle. Look at these stops. A lot of people will short this. Bigger picture, I mean, I spoke about all this H4 price action here was suggested to me this is a reversal. This is a particular pattern to look for. It doesn't occur all the time, but when it fucking does occur, unfold, really high probability for me. Really, I mean, the risk to reward on this are amazing. I will go into them into detail later on, but they don't unfold very often. But when they do unfold, you know, even I know a market I don't trade, I'll fucking trade it. Oil I hate trading, but yeah, it unfolded on oil, so you know it'd be rude not to take this. So I spoke about obviously where I entered, you know, here. So the way I was managing this was, okay, people want to know how I manage this, right? I've got a H1 chart and a H4 chart up at the same time. I'm watching the 5-15 minute charts. So we've got, you know, on the H4 we've got this candle here, right? So that I've just drawn that out. On the lower time frame, you know, does it dip into it? Yes, here. So we've got this support, price comes into this support level, shows bullishness, but come here, down, rip up, takes out this high, comes up the H4 level, and this support resistance becomes support level. And I got long as soon as this candle came down, and as it was pushing up, I got long. And initially I had my stop loss there, right? It was a wide stop loss, but I had a mental stop loss actually here, because I've always been whipped out of oil. Whenever I trade oil, I get whipped out. So I thought, where is the level where I know I'm definitely wrong, right? I'm definitely wrong. If you guys tell, I'll put it here. If it showed me the bullish price action like this, so after when I entered, immediately moved up and broke the high. As soon as it broke the high, I pushed my stop loss just under there. That confirmed to me. So I thought, okay, I can add into this, because if people are bearish this, right, then where the stops going to be resting above the last week's high, and that was my target. I do think it's going to go a lot higher, but I'm happy to just get out of there, and I'll get back in later on. So that was my first position. Then as price was unfolding, I seen this was the next block that formed this, okay, and it pushed up above that. So you don't want market coming below it again. So I drew that out. Yes, it's hindsight, but I'm just showing how I reduce my risk and I'm willing to take extra positions on. Now the fact that I had reduced the risk of my initial position, I can now load another position on, right? So I'm watching this carefully, right? As soon as it's starting to respect this blocks here, I enter another position here. So if I go to the 5 minute, right? So I'm watching this carefully. As soon as I seen this candle here, I entered long again here with a stop loss just under there. Okay, because this moved down, respected this block here, moved up, took out this high, and then I waited for a bullish close. As soon as I got that, because this is the H1 block, remember this line is the H1 block. As soon as I seen this kind of called bullish, I entered long here, and where I had my stop loss there. Actually, sorry, I had my stop loss there because I know it shouldn't come back there, and because I had reduced my stop loss from the initial position, I was able to do that because I'm still keeping to X amount of risk. Then what I did was, as soon as this high got taken, okay, I was ready to start trading my stop loss. So I waited. I want to see a stop rate before I take another position. So market came down, right, took out this low, formed this higher low there, and then moved up, took out this high here. As soon as it did back down, I entered another position there with a stop loss just under here, because this low took out that low there. These two stops I had resting here, I pushed them all the way up here. Then I took that long. So that's 3 positions now, okay? And at the same time I'm trading my stop loss. And also look at the price. I mean, it hasn't left any voids or gaps. That's a good sign. It's been efficiently traded. If it's efficiently traded, then that gives me confidence to add more. If it's gaps or voids there, then I'm not willing to take a trade, because there's a good chance that it's going to mark it. I want to come down and fill that in. Then we start drifting in Asia, and then it popped, right? So that alerts me for London, okay? At the same time, we've got market. So if I draw basic SR, got this there, right? This is the high there, it comes down, and then it clean pop through it. At the same time, what do we have here? We've got this block here, okay? When market rallied away like that, and I've seen this, I pushed those stop losses from here right under there, because this is that SR level I marked out. If it pops through that, it shouldn't come back below here, otherwise I'm wrong. So it's calmed down. I'm watching this carefully. And I posted this live, before even while I entered it. I seen this. So this is the H1 block. It hasn't touched it yet. I'd love to see that. When it makes it low, it hasn't touched it. So it stops resting here. So at the time while I'm watching this price like this, I want to see if price will come down. As soon as it was hit that and it was moving back up, I got on board. Right, I got on board and I had my stop loss there. As I had my stop loss there, I could remove the other stops there. I'm trading my stop losses like that. And then as soon as it was getting back above there and ripped up, broke this high, I shoved my stop losses just under there. So I'm reducing my risk, because if it's come down, taking the stops and rallied away, there's no, why should it come back down here? It shouldn't. And at the same time, what do we have? We have this level here. So we go to the 15 minute. This level here broken, pop through. It shouldn't really. I don't really want to see it come back below. It could retest this and spike back up. That's fine. So now I'm waiting. I'm just seeing. I know where my objective is. I know where market wants to reach is for here. Market wants to reach the last week's high. That's my objective. So I've got a support level here. This was my first target. 47.15s. I labeled it. Just a couple of clicks before. So I'm watching this, and and another sign is, right, if it's going to be a legit stock trade, they're not going to do it slow. They're going to want to rip the markets quick. So it still looked like it had steam in it for me. So I'm watching this, and market comes down, takes out this low here. So that's a stop trade, right? Takes out this low, rallies away. That tells me buys have stepped in. You see these down candles here? Those down candles were used to buy in. So this here. So I had this marked out here, and then I'm watching it on the 5 minute, right? So same exact setup as the London Open setup. This was same. So these two down candles. So it come down here, and price came down, and then this candle wicked up. As soon as it wicked up and closed, I shorted it. I had my stop loss there, and then all the other stop losses I trailed them right under there. Then after the races, hit my target, and I was done by then, and then obviously afterwards it just carried on ripping. I did have one of the positions. I had one of my other accounts. I had it target for here 48.40 because of this here, these clean highs, and it was a daily swing high here. I do believe it's going to go higher. Next target is probably going to be here, the 50-20s, and then higher, but we'll deal with that later. I want to get on board down here. I had this chart marked out here. It's because this candle led to move up and then down and then retested. So as soon as it broke back above that, I wanted to see if we could have got a retest, I would have got long. But this market is really strong at the moment. I'm not sure how I'm going to get long. We've got this on the daily chart. We've got these two candles here. They were buying within, that pushed it up. So I'll be waiting for the market to come back here or there, and whichever level I get the bullish price action from, then I will get back on board. Okay, I still think it's gonna want to go to that next, and then this block here. And on a macro scale, I've got massive targets, upside targets into the 80s, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We'll take it one day at a time. And yeah, that's the oil play. And this is the chart of all the positions. So here I entered there, then I entered there, then I entered there, and then I entered there. So I entered, yeah. So that's that. Okay. So yeah, that's that done. So we'll see how market unfolds, and we'll come back and analyze it after FMC. So we gotta be careful because it is FMC. I'm always careful. But yeah, I hope that made sense, and we'll do an update as soon as price unfolds and give something clear. Have a good day.